Time management for parents is broken. You don't need another planner or app. You need a system that fits your actual life, a system that's life changing. Here's how I went from feeling behind every day, raising two young girls, working full time while building a business, to finally feeling in control. I break down 7 time management hacks that changed everything. Most take less than 5 minutes to apply, but if you miss even one, your day can spiral fast. So let's get into it. The fastest way to get more time isn't by doing more, it's by doing less of the wrong things. After my separation, everything landed on my shoulder. Two kids, they were 5 and 2. The bills, the grocery, the career, starting over. I was trying to be the provider, a protector, a business owner, and a present dad all at once. There were days I wake up early, hustle all day, go to sleep late, and still feel like I made no progress. I was moving, but I wasn't going anywhere. At some point, I had to ask myself, what actually matters right now? Not what feels urgent, not what's easy to check off, but what moves the needle. That's when I started ranking everything in my life by how much it helped me and my kids long term. Career came first because more income fixed a lot of my problems. I stopped folding clothes when I had income goals to hit. I stopped tweaking little things that didn't matter. The dishes could wait, a raise couldn't. Once I got clear on my priorities, my energy went to high leverage tasks only, and suddenly the pressure started lifting. Knowing what matters is step one, but even with the right priorities, I still had to wrestle back control of my time every single day. Knowing your priorities is one thing. Making time for them is the hard part. Before I learned how to block time, I lived off a mental list. I wake up, I handle the kids, I answer emails, work out if I could, but nothing was locked in. And when nothing's locked in, everything's negotiable. I get distracted, I open up 5 different tabs or even 10, respond to messages I didn't need to, and by noon, the day felt off track. I wasn't lazy, I just didn't have a system that protected my focus. That's when I started time blocking. Now I assign every task a spot on the calendar. My work, my fitness, my meals, my planning, even breaks. I treat everyone like an appointment I cannot miss. The difference was immediate. If it's on the calendar, it gets done. If it's not on the calendar, it gets ignored. Time blocking isn't about being strict. It's about being honest with yourself. It shows you where your time is actually going, and it forces you to say no to low value distractions. Once I built that habit, I finally had structure. But even with the calendar set, I still struggle with one thing, my energy. And without energy, time blocking doesn't work either. Time blocking only works if your brain can't keep up. And on most days, mine can. Back when I first started blocking time, I thought I worked straight through for hours, but I burned out. I stare at the screen, I check my phone, I reread the same email twice. My body was at the desk, but my focus, it was just long gone. That's when I started using something called the Pomodoro technique. It's very simple. 25 minutes of full focus, then you take a 5-minute break. And you do this for 4 rounds. And after 4 rounds, you take a longer break, like 10 to 15 minutes. And I honestly didn't expect this to work, but I tried it anyways because I needed to try new stuff out to see what fits my lifestyle. And I got more done in 2 hours than I used to get done in a whole day. You'd be very surprised. It worked because it forces me to sprint, not crawl. I stopped multitasking. I stopped drifting. Each session had a clear beginning and end. The breaks in between, it gave my brain space to recover without feeling guilty. I wasn't pretending to reset while doom scrolling. I was actually recharging. So for parents, especially with tight windows of time, this matters a lot to you. Even one focused Pomodoro block can make a huge difference in your day. This helped me focus, but I still needed help staying ahead of the chaos around me. And that's where delegation changed everything. You can have perfect focus and still fail if you do everything yourself. So in the beginning, I tried to handle it all. Did the work, the chores, handle the kids and meals. It felt like the right thing to do. Be strong, be responsible, carry the weight. But I started burning out fast and quickly. I would finish a long day at work, then spend hours doing dishes, folding laundry, cleaning everything, cleaning the kids' room. By the time I sat down, my energy was gone, and my kids, they got the leftover of me. I tried to be present, but I wasn't connecting with them. That's when I started asking the real question: does this task actually need me? A lot did. Groceries could be delivered, or I could go do curbside pickup. Bills can be automated. Chores could be simplified. Even my kids, young as they were, could help me with small things like folding clothes. Delegation isn't about doing less, it's about doing the right things with the energy you have. It's about leadership if you think about it. It's letting go of control where it doesn't matter, so you can lock in where it does matter. When I cleared those low value tasks off my plate, I had time to lead, time to think, time to be a better dad. But with space, I needed something to keep the whole family aligned. Because without that, things still slipped. You can delegate tasks and still drop the ball if nobody's on the same page. That used to happen to me all the time in my house. I would miss a school event, or I would double book work calls and family time. Not because I didn't care, because I didn't have a system that kept everyone aligned. I was relying on my memory, text threads, sticky notes. It was a mess. So I created a family calendar. Simple, color-coded, shared across all devices. Purple was for kid stuff, blue was for work, green was more for personal time. Everything got scheduled. School events, birthdays, deadlines, even downtime and breaks. It removed the guesswork out of things. No more last minute surprises, no more overlapping plans. Everyone knew what was happening and when. It also gave my daughters a sense of rhythm. They asked me what's on the calendar. It helped them feel more involved. They weren't just watching life happen, they were a part of it. This calendar didn't just reduce stress, it gave me structure. And with structure, we could focus on what mattered. But even with a perfect schedule, I noticed something. Time was still slipping away. Not because of task, but because of one word I was saying too often. Even with a schedule, your time gets stolen if you don't protect it. There was a point where I said yes to everything. Extra meetings, random favors, last minute invites. Every yes felt like the right move. But every yes took time from something that mattered. Work bled into dinner. Texts came in during bedtime. I said I was just checking something and missed an entire moment with my kids. It added up, and I didn't like the version of me that showed up after those choices. I wasn't rested, I wasn't present, I was scattered. That's when I realized boundaries aren't automatic. You have to build them and then hold them. Now I protect my time like my money. No calls after a certain hour, no emails during my time with my kids. If something doesn't align with my goals, it gets a hard no. I don't have to explain myself. I just make the decision and move on. It's not about being rigid, it's about being clear. The more boundaries I set, the more present I became at work, at home, with myself. And there's one more piece that holds it all together, and most parents forget it. It's the one thing that powers everything else. Great, you have the right schedule, focus, and habits, but if your energy is gone, none of it works. There was a time when I was doing everything right. Time blocks were set, priorities were clear. I even had strong boundaries that reinforced. But I still felt tired all the time. I would hit a wall halfway through the day. My brain felt foggy, my patience was short. I was showing up, but I just wasn't sharp. That's when I realized I wasn't managing my energy well. I was draining it. Late nights, I would skip workouts, surviving off of caffeine, and always being on. I changed everything. I started sleeping on a schedule. I moved my body every morning. Even 10 minutes made a huge difference. I hydrated. I ate clean. I stepped outside more. I even protected small breaks during the day to reset. I also cut energy leaks, so negative people got to go, the notifications got to be blocked, anything that pulled me out of my alignment got to go. The difference was clear. I had more clarity and more power behind everything I did. Your energy is the fuel, so without it, nothing moves. When you manage your priorities, protect your time, and fuel your energy, life starts to feel lighter and more in control. Then watch the next video right here to keep winning in life.